Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today's topic is elastic collision in one dimension. In previous classes, we have studied collision and its types. We have studied how can we define elastic collision and inelastic collision. In order to make a quick revision, in elastic collision, you know that the linear momentum of the system remains conserved and kinetic energy of the system remains conserved. I have told you in previous classes. Suppose what is today's topic? Elastic collision. We have to find out the velocities of a body when they collide after collision. Suppose we can take two bodies. Suppose this is one body. Suppose here it is having mass m1, velocity u1, and we take another body. Suppose it is having mass m2 here, and its velocity is u2, and it is before collision. Before collision. And we suppose that u1 is greater than u2. Why? Because when u1 is greater than u2, so that it can approach to this and they will collide. Suppose this is the collision time at the time of collision. Now when they collide, this will impact energy on this, therefore their velocity will become changed. This is body A here, this is body B. Suppose after collision there is a change in velocity. Suppose this is mass is m1, this is body A. Suppose its velocity becomes v1, and this is another body B. Body, its mass is m2 and its velocity becomes v2. When they collide each other, this will impact energy on this. Here v2 will become greater than v1. Before collision u1 is greater than this. After collision is after collision. We consider two bodies of mass m1 and m2. Moving in a straight line with velocity u1 and u2 such that u1 is greater than u2. After collision, let their velocity change v1 and v2 respectively. But this is elastic collision. In elastic collision, you remember, in elastic collision, total linear momentum remains conserved. You know this. This is the definition of the elastic. And total kinetic energy also remains conserved. We have discussed in previous class. Linear momentum also remains conserved, that it does not change. The total momentum of the system does not change. Total kinetic energy of the system does not. System consists of here two bodies. Please remember, here it consists of two body system. That means we know that the total linear momentum remains conserved. That means total linear momentum of the system before collision is equal to total linear momentum of the system after collision. That means इसका मतलब है total linear momentum before collision. Total linear momentum of the system before collision is equal to total linear momentum of the system after collision. Okay, that means इसका linear momentum क्या है? इसका linear mass into velocity. That means as per definition m1 u1 is plus system का m2 u2 u2 ये इसके बराबर है m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Okay, name this equation first. We can also get the value of m1 here. Here इस quantity में m1 है, इस quantity में m1 है. We can transport it here. That means m1 u1 ये यहाँ आ जाएगा -v1 इज इक्वल यहाँ m2 v2 यहाँ ही ऑलरेडी ये यहाँ हो जाएगा -u2 दिस इज इक्वेशन सेकंड। आई होप यू हैव गॉट इट। मैंने कुछ नहीं अभी किया। दैट मीन्स इसका m1 जिस टर्म के साथ m1 है उसको कॉमन निकाला m1u1 इसके साथ m1 दैट मीन्स टोटल मोमेंट लीनियर मोमेंट ऑफ द सिस्टम बिफोर कोलिजन इज बट अकॉर्डिंग टू लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ काइनेटिक एनर्जी total energy total kinetic energy of the system remains conserved. That means kinetic energy before collision is equal to total kinetic energy of the system before collision is equal to total kinetic energy of the system after collision. That means kinetic energy also remains because this is the definition of elastic collision. Kinetic energy also remains conserved. When it remains conserved, that means total kinetic energy. What is the kinetic energy? One half of m u1 का whole square plus one half of m this m1 sorry m1 m2 u2 का whole square is equal इसका kinetic energy one half of m1 v1 का whole square plus one half of m2 v2 का whole square one half will cancel again here I will make m1 common m1 यहाँ m1 ये हो गया u1 स्क्वायर यहाँ हो गया m1 ये यहाँ हो जाएगा -v1 का होल स्क्वायर इज इक्वल m2 यहाँ कॉमन m2 v2 का होल स्क्वायर -u2 का होल स्क्वायर this becomes a plus b into a minus b. Now suppose this equation third I can further elaborate it just like this m1 this a minus a square minus b square go u1 plus v1 into u1 minus v1 m2 I hope you are getting m2 is equal to v2 plus u2 v2 minus u2 this is equation 4. Now dividing equation 4 by equation 2 when I divide dividing equation 4 by equation 2 when I divide equation 4 by equation 2 we get an important result. What is equation 4 ये है equation 2 ये है m1 u1 minus v1 it will cancel ultimately we get u1 plus v1 is equal यहाँ भी है m2 v2 plus u2 v2 minus u2 m2 ये कैंसिल हो जाएगी ultimately we get v2 plus u2 we can further write it just like this u1 यहाँ से minus u2 is equal to v2 minus v1 this is a famous relation this relation is a famous relation this is famous relation ये क्या relation अगर if we look u1 minus u2 what is this u1 minus u2 its speed is greater than ये speed ज़्यादा है minus u2 that means u1 minus u2 is equal to velocity of approach u1 minus u1 is greater than that means इसके u1 minus u2 जो उसमें आंसर निकलेगा इट्स द velocity of approach is equal to v2 minus v1 is equal to velocity of separation that means velocity of approach is equal to velocity of separation that means in elastic collision we have proved velocity of approach is equal to velocity इसीलिए जब मैंने आपका लास्ट क्लास दिया जो yesterday's class मैंने उसमें बताया था if a body is dropped from point A which is at a height h above the surface of in elastic collision when it falls on the ground the earth rebounds back at the same height, at the same height. That is why when it rebounds is the same, this is called elastic type of collision. इसका ये मतलब होगा relative velocity of approach is equal to relative velocity of separation. This is the relative velocity of approach is equal to relative velocity of separation. But our aim is also to find out what is the velocities after collision v1 and v2. You know that u1 we know that, u2 we know that, m1 we know that, m2 we know that, m2 we all know these quantities. That means we have to actually find out the velocity of v1 and v2. That means we have to find out the velocity in elastic collision or after collision. What is the velocity of two bodies after collision? That means we have to find out the velocity v1 and v2. These are the two velocities after collision. When the bodies collide, u1 and u2 are the velocities before collision. These are the velocities after collision. That means in order to find out this, मैं यहाँ रखूँगा ये, this can also name it, this is equation 5. From equation 5, from equation find I can find out the value of v2 here. v2 is equal to v1 u1 minus u2 plus v1. From equation 5, v2 is equal to u1 minus u2 plus v1. Name this 6. If you remember, I have to find out the value of v2 because मुझे v1 और v2 निकालना है. v2 किसके बराबर है? u1 minus u2 plus v1. Then I will substitute it in equation second. Substituting value of v2 in equation second ऊपर, या मैं खुद फिर एक बार लिखूंगा इक्वेशन सेकंड ये है m1 u1 minus v1 is equal to m2. Instead of v2 here, instead of v2 I can write this u1 minus u2 plus v1, और already minus u2 है. Instead of v2 I write u1 minus u2 plus v1 माइनस, और इक्वेशन सेकंड में ऑलरेडी है माइनस u2. थोड़ा बहुत सिंप्लीफाई करूँगा, m1 u1 बस हो गए. सिर्फ ध्यान देना ये कैलकुलेशन में m1 v1 इज इक्वल टू m2 u1 माइनस m2 u2 प्लस m2 v1 माइनस m2 u2. ठीक है. v1 जिसमें v1 है, v1 ठीक है. v1 rest I can do here. v1 इसमें और इसमें v1 है. ठीक है. और u1 किस में है? u1 इसमें और इसमें मैं एक लिखूँगा. इसमें v1 है, u1 इसमें है 2 and 2 u1. m2 और m2, ये m2 और m2 हो गए ट्वाइस m2. वी गॉट इट, आई होप. यहाँ मैं लिखूँगा v1 में इस साइड में शिफ्ट करूँगा m1 u1, इसको यहाँ लगाऊंगा एक प्लस इस साइड में माइनस m2 u1, v1 वाले इस साइड में लूँगा m1 v1, और यहाँ ऑलरेडी है प्लस m2 v1 माइनस m2 u2 माइनस m2 u2, ये को ट्वाइस m2 u2, ये मैं इस साइड में शिफ्ट करूँगा. हो गया ट्वाइस m2 u2. एक और एक हो गए 2, ये नेगेटिव साइन, इसको यहाँ मैं शिफ्ट करूँगा. हो गया v1 इसमें है, v1 इसमें, इसको मैं इधर शिफ्ट करूँगा m1 v1 m2 u2, इसको यहाँ है, और u1 किस में है? माइनस m2 ये माइनस एम टू यू वन, ये इसमें है माइनस एम टू यू वन, ये एम वन यू वन इसमें है, ये एम वन यू वन है। इसका मतलब ये हो गया वी वन इस साइड में हो गया, ये यू वन वाले ये वाले और ये वाले, ये माइनस ये प्लस है, ये तो इसको यहाँ पे शिफ्ट करूँगा और आई कैन राइट ट्वाइस एम टू यू टू प्लस, इसमें क्या कॉमन है, इसमें कॉमन है यू वन इज कॉमन, एम वन माइनस एम टू, इसमें क्या कॉमन है, इसमें कॉमन है वी वन, इसका मतलब एम वन प्लस एम टू वी वन। अल्टीमेटली इसको मैं सारा यहाँ ट्रांसफर, अल्टीमेट आई गेट द वैल्यू ऑफ वी वन इज इक्वल टू, अगर मैं ट्वाइस एम टू इसको यू टू प्लस यू वन एम वन माइनस एम टू डिवाइड बाय एम वन plus m2. This is the velocity of body A after collision. How can we find out? We know the value of m2 mass को हम जानते हैं, u1 is the velocity before collision, we know this u2 is the one. That means with the help of this equation we can find out, ultimately we get, you have to remember this equation, v1 velocity after collision, इन सारी चीज़ों का सब वैल्यू में जब सबस्टिट्यूट करें I can find out the value of v1. I hope you have got it. Now this name is equation 7. Suppose, how can we find out the value of this? Here equation 6. Now this is equation 7. Now how can we find out the v2? Substituting value of v1, this v1 in equation 6, in equation 6 ऊपर है, yeah, ultimately we get v2 is equal to u1 minus u2 plus, instead of v1 I can write twice m2 u2 बस हो गया plus u1 m1 minus m2 whole divided by m1 प्लस m2. आई कैन सबस्टिट्यूट, इस डिनोमिनेटर इसको क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई कर लूँगा मैं, जब थोड़ी बहुत क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई करके इसको मैं यहाँ u1 माइनस u2 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय m1 प्लस m2 और प्लस ऊपर है ट्वाइस m2 u2 प्लस, अगर मैं थोड़े इसको u1 m1 इसको u1 m1 माइनस u1 m2 कौन सी टर्म इसके साथ आएगी बोल दे, m1 प्लस m2, अल्टीमेटली वी गेट u1 m1 u1 m1 u1 m2 प्लस u1 m2 माइनस u2 m1, ये u2 m1 माइनस u2 m2 प्लस ट्वाइस m2 u2 प्लस u1 m1 माइनस u1 m2 होल डिवाइड बाय m1 प्लस m2 u1 m2 यहाँ माइनस u1 m2 प्लस u1 m2, दिस विल कैंसिल आउट. ओके, नाउ इसमें u1 m1, इसमें भी u1 m1, व्हाट इज दिस, इसको ट्वाइस u1 m1. ओके, ट्वाइस हो गई इधर. अब कितने थे, दिस टर्म कैंसिल, ये भी आ गई, ये भी आ गई. नाउ ये टर्म्स हैं ट्वाइस m2 u2 माइनस u2 m2, दो में से एक, वो एक निकल जाए, अगर मैं लिखूँगा u2 m1, इन दो में से ये दो ट्वाइस m2 u2 है, ये एक ट्वाइस m2 u2, ए में से एक निकाल कर एक प्लस रहेगा, प्लस m2 u2. ओके, बस हो गया, डिवाइड बाय m1 प्लस m2. अल्टीमेटली वी कैन गेट v2 is equal to twice u1 m1. इसमें मैं कॉमन निकालूंगा ये m1 प्लस m1, ये पहले ये लिखूंगा m2 माइनस m1, दिस इज द आंसर m1 प्लस m2. दिस इज द कैलकुलेशन ऑफ v2. अगर यहाँ लिखूंगे v1 किसके बराबर है, ट्वाइस m2 u2, यहाँ ट्वाइस m1 u1, यहाँ m1 u1, यहाँ m2 u2, ये इसी के बराबर, ये यहाँ 2 आता है, यहाँ 1 आता है, u1 m1 माइनस m2, ये है u2, कॉमन निकलेगा u2 m2 माइनस m1, ये उल्टा है, यहाँ m1 माइनस m2, यहाँ m2 माइनस m1 है, m1 प्लस m2. You have to remember these equation too. This is the velocity of an elastic collision when the body collide after collision. Tomorrow inshallah we will discuss important cases. We will discuss the cases how can we the velocity when two bodies have equal mass. ये हमने ऐसे कंसिडर किया, एक मास बड़ा है एक मास छोटा है. अगर दो बॉडीज का इक्वल मास है, ऑलरेडी हमने वेलोसिटी निकाली है. कैसे? when the masses are same, how can find out? when जब दो बॉडीज ऐसे कोलाइड हो जाएंगे इलास्टिक कोलिजन में, जब मास सेम होगा तब क्या हो जाएगा. या अगर एक बॉडी रेस्ट पे है, दूसरा बॉडी मूविंग है, तब क्या हो जाएगा. We will discuss these cases inshallah tomorrow. Hope you have got it. You have to remember these two equations. What is the velocity of elastic collision? After collision the body get velocity. This we know that this 2y, m2 is the mass of one body, m1 is the mass of body, u1 is the velocity of one body before collision, u2 is the velocity of another body before collision, and all these we have discussed all these terms. Inshallah we will meet in the next class. That is also an important class. Thank you very much.